After that small mistake in part one, police didn't move in. They waited, because networks like this don't collapse from one error. They collapse when someone watches long enough to understand everything. British Columbia's coastline became the focus. Long stretches of water, hidden inlets, docks that rarely saw inspectors. At night, small fishing boats moved quietly across the Pacific. They didn't attract attention. They weren't supposed to. Investigators began noticing something strange. The same vessels appeared repeatedly, always leaving empty, always returning heavier. The timing was too perfect to ignore. RCMP surveillance teams started watching from a distance. Unmarked vehicles sat hidden near the shore. Cameras followed every movement. What they saw confirmed their suspicions. These boats weren't fishing, they were delivering. Shipments arrived far from major ports, where scanners and inspections were rare. Drugs were unloaded quickly. Before sunrise, everything was gone. Once on land, the operation changed. Large shipments were broken down into smaller loads. Rental trucks with legitimate logos carried them inland. Warehouses were used briefly, then abandoned. Nothing stayed in one place for long. The name Hidalgo began appearing in reports. At first, it meant nothing. No criminal record, no violent history. On paper, it looked clean. But financial investigators noticed something else. Money was moving fast. Cash deposits didn't match declared income. Properties were being purchased under different company names. The operation wasn't sloppy, it was organized. Phones were tapped, vehicles were tracked. Meetings were logged quietly, one by one. Then came the moment investigators were waiting for. One truck took a route it wasn't supposed to. One phone call lasted longer than usual. One driver said too much. Suddenly, the entire system became visible. Routes from the coast to the city, from the city to the border, from Canada to international buyers. This wasn't a small smuggling ring anymore. It was a full-scale operation, and police knew they only had one chance to shut it down. Because once the Hidalgo network realized it was exposed, it would disappear overnight. What investigators planned next would decide everything. By the time the Hidalgo network realized it was being watched, it was already too late. Investigators had spent months building the case. Every route, every vehicle, every name. They waited for the right shipment, the one that tied everything together. When it finally moved, police were ready. Across British Columbia, surveillance teams went silent. Phones stopped ringing, radios stayed quiet. Then, in a single night, everything changed. Unmarked vehicles rolled out at the same time. Warehouses were surrounded. Trucks were intercepted mid-route. Drivers were pulled out of their seats in disbelief. They didn't resist, they already knew. At one location, officers opened a container that had passed inspections for years. Inside were tightly packed packages, hidden behind legitimate cargo. At another site, police seized ledgers, burner phones, and cash. Stacks of it. This wasn't one arrest. It was many. Across multiple cities, all synchronized, the Hidalgo operation collapsed in hours. What made the case different wasn't just the drugs. It was the structure. Investigators uncovered a system designed to survive losses. Backup routes, backup drivers, backup storage. But even the best systems fail when every layer is exposed at once. Court proceedings followed quickly. Prosecutors laid out the network piece by piece. From the quiet boats on the coast, to the trucks crossing the province, to the money flowing out of the country. Defendants tried to distance themselves. Some claimed ignorance, others stayed silent. It didn't matter. The evidence was too complete. The Hidalgo ring was officially dismantled. Assets were seized, properties frozen, routes shut down. British Columbia's coastline went quiet again. But the case left a mark. It showed how organized crime doesn't always look violent. Sometimes it looks professional, clean, invisible, and it proved something else. In a place as vast and quiet as British Columbia, crime doesn't need chaos to grow. It only needs time. The Hidalgo ring disappeared, but the methods it used didn't. And somewhere along that same coastline, someone else was already watching and learning.